I focused on being prepared. I saved your life by bringing you here. I knew this day would come. It's not safe out there. Something's coming.
So, being a theater guy, was that a big help doing this movie?
Definitely, I think so. I was drawn to the film because it was really intimate, and you read a lot of movies, and because movie telling is a more movie making is in the storytelling aspect is a little more imagery based, obviously, than like a play. You don't get long scenes. But I was reading this and I was like, wow, this is like a 5-6 page scene at dinner here between these three characters. That's rare. You don't get to see movies that have that kind of quality. And so I did draw a little bit on some theater experience while shooting those scenes.
Yeah, we just spoke with Mary Elizabeth, who's great, and we talked
awesome.
about that fantastic scene that the two of you have against the wall.
Yeah.
We don't want to give anything away, but I'm just curious how you guys did that, because I can't imagine not having someone to react opposite in that scene.
Yeah, there's a scene in the film that's a bit of a kind of a confessional between my character and Mary's, and in fact it is like a confessional because we're talking to each other through a wall and not able to see each other. We can only hear each other. And it's one of my favorite scenes in the movie because it gives you a real insight and a door into these characters' past and their history. You start imagining them before this unknown cataclysmic thing is taking place. But because the language, the way it was written was so beautiful, there was something that was really easy about just being able to shoot that and not having anyone to look at, but just kind of tell that story.
The character has probably the most specific voice and specific look of the characters in the film, and
Yeah.
it's so funny, you don't sound like that character.
No.
Where did you decide this is what he's going to sound like, this is
Oh.
what he's going to look like, this is how he's going to move his body?
A lot of that really was through me and Dan talking
Yeah.
to the director, Dan Trachtenberg. Like, I Skyped with him before I auditioned, and he was like, I don't know about you, but I'm thinking that this guy might be kind of rural. And I was like, yeah, I think I might like to try like a kind of a nondescript kind of twang to it. And so I put this kind of little slight subtle kind of southern accent on top of it. It's kind of interesting because you never really figure out where he's from or anything. And then from there we built it, and that was actually, the character was named Kyle. And then once I put that twang on there, we decided to name him Emmett. Actually, it was J.J. Abrams decided to change the name. And then Dan encouraged me to grow my beard out because I had a lot of scruff at the time. And then when I came to set the first time, I was wearing a cap, and we really liked that, so we made one for the character. And then we put him in some flannels, and that character just kept kind of emerging more and more as we went with it.
What was the appeal of not only the film, but just your character, for you? Because he's totally different from the ones that I've seen you play before.
Oh, cool. I like to, this is a pretty kind of a stock actory answer, I think, but it's very true, is that, I like to do different things. Like, if I'm doing the same thing over and over again, I get really bored. And it doesn't feel challenging or scary or different, and I just get kind of complacent. So I was drawn to being able to do something different. I'd never really done a genre movie like this. I'd done smaller, more kind of independent, kind of character-driven things. I love Bad Robot. I love J.J. Abrams. I love the actors that were already in it. And then I hit it off with Dan, and it was like kind of a perfect storm of a movie for me. I'm so glad I got to do it.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
And look forward to seeing
I'll see you after the show.